that I wouldn't be surprised if it takes less than 6 years for us to go to 600 in silver. I can't really tell you the exact amount of time, of course. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm just like speculating. That's what speculators do. They kind of look forward and try to see what's going to happen by looking backwards a bit as well. So yeah, that's what silver broke that line in the sand, that 45-year top of that teacup and handle formation. So what we're going to do today is look at my objective for the move, for that break of the teacup, and we're going to use the recent break of the teacup in gold that we saw early last year in 2024, and we're going to try to extrapolate it into the silver break. Yes, things are looking very interesting. One thing I would say, though, to all of you out there, because I've been at this since 2002, and I used to get very excited and very angry as well, depending on what the market was doing, gold and silver. Yes, there's always been manipulation of the market by the powers that be through the bullion banks, and it is frustrating, but I think you've got to put that aside and let them do it, because I think it was Napoleon who said, if your enemy is making a mistake, let him do it. Let him do it. And talking about mistakes, before we go into silver and gold, for that matter, I want to talk about what's happening here in the UK, the budget, and just the malaise in the economy that we have. Socialism is really throttling prosperity in the UK, and it's not just been this current government. It's been happening, I would say, for the last 25 years, especially since New Labour came into power, when the Conservatives came into power with the Liberal Democrats in 2010. Nothing really changed. The Conservatives, they're not really Conservatives anymore, and that's why you have reform. But one thing I want to say, because I'm the home of contrarian views, is that I could see after 2008 that we'd be in a bad situation. Most people thought, well, the government and the Bank of England saved the day. Things are fine now. Everything is going to be all right. But I could see that the way through which they saved the system, which was basically manipulating interest rates lower, indebting the country massively through money printing, would lead.
Gold's recent breakout offers a roadmap. After forming its own multi-year teacup structure, gold erupted in 2024, accelerating far faster than analysts expected. That move highlights a deeper truth. Once major resistance is broken, metals tend to move in powerful, often relentless waves. Silver's setup is even more dramatic, longer, wider, and more heavily suppressed. While manipulation and market distortions exist, stepping back from emotion is crucial. Markets eventually correct imbalances, and interference often delays rather than prevents major moves. Silver's breakout now mirrors gold's early stages, implying that its next phase could unfold with amplified speed and magnitude.
To basically where we are right now, and they did that same kind of strategy or modus operandi during COVID as well. More money printing, artificial rates. Yes, what I've been warning for like 4 or 5 years now, the collapse of the UK economy is here. But it doesn't mean to say either that it's going to be forever. So I'm actually quite positive going forward in the next decade, so let's say, Maybe not the next few years, but I have a feeling a lot more people now realize what's going on. The fact that socialism, big government, taxation doesn't work. That you need lean government and you need to leave people alone. And I think that's encouraging because human affairs always go in cycles, just like your own individual affairs. And I can attest to that. When I started this channel in 2015, I had just experienced a bad period since 2012. 2012, the company that I work for in the city of London, they closed down the department that I was working at, and I was made redundant. I tried to start a business. That didn't work out. So I was at the bottom, pretty much like gold was at 1,045. And things have picked up. You can't despair. And the same thing goes for nations. And that's why I'm going to recommend the book here. And this applies to the United States, but it also applies to the UK because, well, you guys in the US were the original 13 colonies, and it was England who colonized, right? So the cycles are quite similar. So it's The Fourth Turning by Neil Howe. And he talks about the seasonal nature of human affairs and that we are in the winter right now and we are in the fourth turning. I highly recommend you read this, and that the last fourth turning was back in, the last winter was back in during the Great Depression, World War II, and then you go back another 80 years, the Civil War, and you go back 80 years with the Revolutionary War. So we're right in that period. If you go forward from the 40s, early 40s, 80 years, we're in the 2020s, and a seculum, which is a long human life, is about 80 to 100 years. So yes, we're in the winter right now, and things are gonna get turbulent. They already are. But come the early 2030s, I think things are going to get a lot better. That's what I wanted to say.
To fully understand precious metal momentum, we must view it through the lens of broader economic erosion. The United Kingdom illustrates this vividly. Years of rising taxation, expanding government programs, and politically motivated economic management have constrained growth for decades. The 2008 crisis marked a turning point, followed by near-zero interest rates, money printing, and pandemic-era emergency spending. These policies postponed consequences rather than resolving them. Today, the strain is undeniable: stagnation, rising public debt, and declining productivity. Yet history shows nations move in cycles. As older systems crack, new opportunities emerge, often reflected first in hard money assets like gold and silver.
I heard as well about the budget that the Chancellor Reeves could be in trouble. She could even have to resign because apparently she overestimated the fiscal hole, so she could tax people more. So it will be interesting to see what happens there. But this is just short term. Longer term, I'm very positive about things. Yes, going forward. We're going to enter spring after the winter in terms of the cycles. Anyway, back to silver, more immediate things. And I did a video. When was it? It was on Thursday, so not long ago, that silver had reached a major line in the sand. And what's that line? Well, I'll bring up the chart of the mother of all teacups, right? A 45-year teacup and handle formation which is really bullish. It's very rare formation as well in silver. And on Thursday, we're trading just above 51. I think we're 52, 53. And I said if we can close out the month above this level, and of course we had 2 days to go, and 2 days in the silver market can be a long time. It gives the bullion banks a lot of time to come and smash it down. But the price action yesterday was stellar. And silver closed, the spot silver that is, at 56.40. Despite all the shenanigans on the CME, yes, they're going to say it was a glitch, but I don't buy into it. I think if they hadn't had that glitch, silver would probably be even higher, probably be around 60. It gave the bankers a little bit of time to try to fix things, and still they couldn't. So we've definitively closed above this line in the sand, and it's very bullish. Yeah, who knows, in the short term we could come and retest that line, but I think we did that already after we breached it in October and came back to below 46 in the last few weeks. But anything's possible, right? But you can see here that I measured the distance from the bottom of the teacup to the top. And so that was, let's see, 44 I think, dollars and 67 cents, the distance. And in percentage terms, it was an increase of 1,250%. So if you take 50, the objective on the upside, because the objective is the same, the market is supposed to move the same distance of the depth of the teacup once it breaks out.
Economies follow rhythms much like personal lives. Periods of pressure give way to renewal, and this pattern has repeated for centuries. The theory of turnings, popularized by generational researchers, suggests society is now in a difficult but transformative phase, akin to winter before spring. Previous cycles saw the Revolutionary War, Civil War, Great Depression, and World War II. Each was challenging, yet each produced renewal afterwards. The 2020s resemble that pivotal moment once again. Turbulence is inevitable, but so is rebirth. Understanding these cycles helps explain why gold and silver thrive. They serve as anchors during uncertainty and bridges to recovery.
Well, if you take 50, it's $625. If you take 51, which is a little more exact, it's 637. So anywhere about 600 would be the objective. And it's interesting, I was calculating this morning, and I thought about Cliff High and his Alta reports. I started looking at that. I mean, back in 06, 07, at work in the city, I had a good friend of mine. We used to read this stuff. And Cliff High had this price objective for silver of $600. So I think he might be proven correct again. So you might be asking me now, how long is it going to take? Well, that's where the gold teacup comes in, because I think we can try to extrapolate from that one. And the gold teacup is a shorter one. Of course, it's from the high in 2011, just above 1920, and the high in 2020, just above 2000. I think it was 2070. And the teacup was the consolidation we had from 2020 till last year in April, I think, or March, when gold took off and broke that the top of the teacup, and really went bananas, and we're still going bananas. But you can see that gold went up, while the distance from the bottom of the teacup to the top is 89%, or $933. So if you extrapolate from the breakout, I get a objective about 4,000, and here we are at 4,200. So to me, it also says, and this is a separate analysis here, it's more about gold. It says that gold is really strong and that we could keep going forward or going up a lot more. This is a monthly chart, of course. But the reason I'm looking at gold is because if you take 13 years, which is what it took for this formation to build up and then break out of, and you divide it by the amount of time that it's taken since last year, it's been less than 2 years. So it's about 7 times quicker than it took from 2011 to 2024. So I did the same calculation. So 45 years, the silver teacup, 7 times quicker would be around 6 years, just over 6 years. But there's one caveat. The teacup in silver has been so massive, and they've manipulated and suppressed the price for so long that the pressure is so huge.
Silver recently closed decisively above a historic resistance level, defying attempts to push it lower. The breakout completes a 45-year teacup formation, one of the rarest and most powerful patterns in long-term market behavior. Measuring the structure's depth yields a remarkable projected target, roughly $600 per ounce, aligning with forecasts long dismissed as unrealistic. Gold's own breakout met its measured target rapidly, rising to new highs in record time. If silver follows a similar accelerated path, years of suppression may unwind in a burst of momentum. The pressure has been building for decades, and now the lid has finally lifted.
That I wouldn't be surprised if it takes less than 6 years for us to go to 600 in silver. I can't really tell you the exact amount of time, of course. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm just like speculating. That's what speculators do. They kind of look forward and try to see what's going to happen by looking backwards a bit as well. So yeah, that's what I see. And the fact that it looks like gold is going to breach this objective of 4,000 and keep going could be the same thing for silver. So 600 might not be, it might be the objective for the teacup, but it might not be the end for silver, i.e. it could go a lot higher, and it's going to be interesting times, and patience as well, I think, is really necessary. I could have given up on gold and silver many years ago, but I've been sitting through it since '02, and especially after 2011, and especially around the time of 2017, all onwards, when you've had all this narrative about Bitcoin and crypto. I've known of many people, I won't mention names, who abandoned silver to go into Bitcoin. But no, I'm going to stick to gold and silver. And again, keep an even keel. Don't get too excited and don't get too despondent about the markets. And enjoy life as well. That's really important. Look after yourself health-wise, because if you don't have any health, you can't create any wealth. Look after your family, your friends. I think that's really important as well. And maybe that's why it's taken so long, this bull market, because you need to grow with it as well. If gold and silver had gone to the moon after '08, which is what I thought would happen after that crisis, I'm not sure how I would be now in terms of my character, and I'm quite happy the way things are.
Predicting timing is impossible, but direction is clearer than ever. Silver's structural breakout suggests a long-term bull cycle is underway, potentially stronger than anything seen since the late 1970s. Yet, investors must remain steady. Emotional swings, whether excitement or frustration, can distort judgment. Many abandoned precious metals for faster-moving assets like cryptocurrencies, only to miss the early stages of this historic shift. True wealth building requires patience, resilience, and a long-term view. Just as individuals grow through adversity, markets evolve through cycles. Silver's surge may have taken decades, but the foundation is stronger for it, and the next chapter is just beginning.